Hey guys, today on People Now, Will Smith and the entire family getting genie with it at the Aladdin premiere.
From the joy of motherhood to her new upcoming TV gig, People goes one-on-one with Tamron Hall.
People is celebrating body transformations. We're finding out how two women lost over 100 pounds each.
Singer-songwriter Jordin Sparks is championing a cause close to her heart, and she tells us about her hot new music.
Plus, top chef, judge, and culinary superstar Gail Simmons is here with all we need to know about this year's Food and Wine Classic.
It's live today on People Now. Let's go.
Well, we made it to Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Good to see you. Good to see you as well.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
We're halfway there.
I know.
The weekend's almost in sight. But today, guys, a lot to talk about. We're celebrating the inspiring transformations of 5 real, remarkable women who have lost over 100 pounds.
These transformations are incredible, so we want to know, how do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? Vote in our People poll, or just tweet us or answer with the hashtag PeopleNow.
We're going to check in on those results and catch up with a few of the women in a little bit. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Will Smith's family stepped out to support their dad at the Aladdin premiere on Tuesday night. Will's children, Trey, Jaden, and Willow, proudly posed with dad on the purple carpet in front of the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood.
What a cute family. Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, went all out in a genie-inspired look. Look at her. She rocked a blue crop top covered in silver gemstones, matching wide-legged pants and strappy silver heels. She topped off her look with a red lip and silver jewelry.
I mean, they're stunners, aren't they?
Just yeah, and I love that she was there to support in the outfit.
Absolutely. Will has been vocal about his excitement for the movie and his role as the genie, which of course was originally voiced by Robin Williams. In a clip released earlier this month, Will can be seen singing the iconic song Prince Ali from the 1992 original animated feature. Take a quick look at that.
Prince Ali, fabulous, he Ali
Woo, it gets me hyped. And Mina Massoud, who plays Aladdin in the movie, chatted with us earlier this month about working with Will Smith. Take a look.
Working with Will, I mean, dream come true. We had a very tight rotation of films playing at home when I was growing up, you know, because my parents are Egyptian. We had a lot of Arabic film and television playing, so Will's films were definitely, I grew up on them.
Yeah, so great. Mina also said that Will has given him some great acting advice, like stay true to yourself no matter how your career goes. I'll just say this. I saw the movie right before Mina Massoud came in, and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, my expectations had kind of gone down because there was early press about it that was kind of skeptical.
I feel like there hasn't been a lot of press in comparison to sometimes when they blow these movies out of the water with the press, but you really enjoyed it.
I really did enjoy it, and Will Smith for me was going to be the biggest challenge because I grew up, of course, with that animated one of Robin Williams. But Will Smith really makes it his own, and after the ice was broken, I really dug it. Like, he owned it in a unique way. It's great.
Awesome.
Check it out, guys.
Excited to see it.
Aladdin hits theaters this Friday, May 24th. Watch this.
My happiest motherhood moment was when the doctors handed me my baby. You know, I won't say I'm sorry because I'm not sorry.
Getting a little emotional there. Tamron Hall is basking in the joy of motherhood. She welcomed her son Moses in April.
And in this week's People Cover story, she's sharing what surprised her most about becoming a mom at 48. Watch this.
I underestimated how willing other moms are to help you. You know, you don't know until you're in that situation, and I had all the books, and you can read all day long, and it's great, don't get me wrong, read as much as possible, but there's nothing as comforting as another mom, and maybe someone you're not even close to, and suddenly you are close to them through this journey. Your ego is suspended, and who you are is different, but this energy and this advice and all of this love from people who are your besties to people you've just met. It's been tremendous. I never would have thought of nipple butter, but there were women who said, don't leave home without nipple butter and chapstick. It's that kind of thing that's just been awesome. Because I assure you, I would have left without nipple butter. I also will tell you I didn't know what nipple butter was. But now I own stock in it.
Honestly, I didn't know what it was, but now I'm learning things. We'll hear more from Tamron Hall a little later on the show, including her favorite mommy products and what she's looking forward to the most with her new TV gig.
All right, what is west of Westeros? Well, Game of Thrones fans are basically going to have to use their imaginations, it turns out.
Yeah, so HBO programming president Casey Bloys confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that Arya Stark in particular will not be getting her own spin-off show to follow her solo explorations anytime soon, or any of the other Stark siblings for that matter.
Maybe way down the road, maybe? I'm want to hold out hope, but for now, not happening. Blois says that he wants Game of Thrones to be its own thing, explaining, quote, I don't want to take characters from this world that they did beautifully and put them off into another world with someone else creating it. I want to let it be the artistic piece they've got. He also said that the Game of Thrones author created such a massive world that you can explore it through other ways. Blois says they want any spin-offs to feel distinct from the original show.
I mean, I'm so bummed about Arya not getting a spin-off because she was the best character. So we are sorry, everyone. It looks like you'll have to wait for the prequel that starts filming its pilot in June. HBO has yet to confirm any details about that project. It's set to star Naomi Watts, Naomi Ackie, and Denise Goff.
Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin said on Twitter in October that the series will be titled The Long Night.
So according to its official description, the prequel takes place thousands of years before the events of Game of Thrones and chronicles the world's descent from the golden age of heroes into its darkest hour.
I like the idea of this because it's referenced so often in the show that we know that for them to actually put that world together will be interesting.
It will be cool and then kind of tie it to the original Game of Thrones.
Yeah, see the lead
I want to watch from the beginning because this Game of Thrones I had to catch up.
Yeah.
Here I'm going to be in there from the first episode.
They also said that story promises to be, quote, not the story we think we know. So,
very exciting.
Whatever exactly that is. All right, Leonardo DiCaprio hit the red carpet with the rest of his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood cast at the premiere in Cannes. Leo bringing the A game, looking great.
They're all looking great, very swoon-worthy. He wasn't the only one, though. Margot Robbie was also looking amazing in her Chanel Couture kind of dress and pants combo, which is interesting for Cannes because normally people go all out with big ball gowns. But Leo, Brad, this case, no one can really steal the show because they all look pretty great there.
Yeah. In the movie, DiCaprio plays actor Rick Dalton, while Pitt plays his longtime stunt double Cliff Booth. The two are struggling with the changing Hollywood landscape at the height of hippie Hollywood and when Charles Manson was on the loose.
Dalton's next-door neighbor, Sharon Tate, is played by Margot Robbie, which is going to be a fascinating role for her. Very excited for this. The movie reportedly got a 7-minute standing ovation after its premiere. 7 minutes.
That's so outrageous that it's like, man, it has to be amazing. And that crowd really loved it. You know how sometimes the environment of the screening can maybe affect it?
I don't want to get too excited, but I have heard good reviews. So.
That's setting my expectations
really
high. It also stars Luke Perry in his final role. I mean, the hype is real, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and the day before its premiere, Tarantino published an open letter on the social media pages of the film, asking Cannes Film Festival audience members not to spoil the movie in advance because it doesn't hit theaters till July 26th.
It's also 2 weeks before the 50th anniversary of the Manson family murders. It was Tarantino's first premiere at Cannes since Inglourious Basterds. That was back in 2009. Guys, one former Morehouse college student has received attention on social media, but not in celebration of the recent commencement ceremony where graduates found out that their student debt was being eliminated. 22-year-old Jordan Long took to Twitter, posting this meme saying, quote, I left Morehouse class of 2019 to avoid debt, and this billionaire just paid the graduating class's debt off. Kill me.
Can you imagine? In an interview with BuzzFeed News, Long says he was forced to transfer out of the historically black college as a sophomore in 2017 for fear of increasing his student debt, which was already at $60,000, which is a lot of money. When he first heard that the Morehouse class of 2019 was having their debt wiped completely clean by this very generous billionaire, he could not believe it, telling BuzzFeed News, I was in a state of shock and also happiness. Happiness for my friends and late seniors who are graduating and getting their debt paid off, but also sadness. Like, dang, that could have been me.
Kind of missed out. This past weekend, billionaire Robert F. Smith announced to the Morehouse graduating class that he planned to pay off the student loans of approximately 400 students. If you didn't hear, that total adds up to around $40 million, making it the single largest donation ever to a historically black college or university. Now, Long says his decision to leave the school was a purely financial one and was a symptom of America's failing higher education system.
Throughout my pregnancy, about how this would go. And once he was there in my arms, we had a doctor who said, stop worrying about all of this, enjoy him. And that was the single best advice.
Tamron Hall is continuing to enjoy her new baby boy, Moses. In this week's People cover story, she's opening up about her new life as a mom at 48 and why she waited so long to share her happy news publicly.
Here to break down the entire new issue for us is People's senior writer, Emily Strom. Emily, thank you for being here.
Of course.
course.
Great to see you.
Let's get into it. How adorable is Moses? And how is it seeing Tamron as a new mom?
So cute. She is just over the moon about her little baby. He's really a dream come true for her.
Yeah, Moses was born April 24th. Tamron only shared the news of her pregnancy in March. This Instagram post with baby shark.
Yes.
Why did she wait so long to go public with it?
You know, this was a difficult pregnancy, journey to having a baby. She struggled with IVF in the past, and because of her age, she wanted to keep it a secret as long as she possibly could.
That makes sense, to kind of protect the process
Yeah,
and go
of
through it
course.
personally.
It also seems like she's pretty private about things. She also waited a while to tell that she was married to her now husband, Stephen Greener. So, yeah, why'd she wait so long with that as well?
Yeah, same thing. She said she's always been very cautious when it comes to her love life. She said this is her greatest love, and she just thought, one day she didn't want her husband to look back and see her talking about, a former boyfriend. So she just was very protective.
And then we look forward to her career. In March, it was announced that she would be getting her own daytime talk show, which is very exciting. A little over 2 years after that controversial departure from NBC. What did Tamron share about where she is now compared to where she was when that initially happened 2 years ago?
Yeah, of course. She never thought that she would, be in that position to where she lost, something that was so important to her job, but it also opened up, a whole new life for her. She was able to meet her husband. Now she's got this baby. So, ultimately she feels like it was, just meant to be.
It seems like she really decided to redefine her entire life after that moment, right?
Of course,
It's incredible.
Yeah, she talked about how, when she had time and she wasn't working, she could just see things in a different light.
Yeah.
And she's learning a lot, as am I, about things like nipple butter, onesie mittens. She has one favorite new mom product that surprised even her, so let's watch this.
I actually have this bra that I currently have on that I love so much. It is so comfortable. It's no underwire, and I can't believe I'm talking about a bra, but it is so good. And it's just cozy, so I'm obsessed with this bra.
Yeah, I guess you learn a lot of things as a new mom. It's cool to see how her life has evolved over the past few years. New mom, new show, really exciting stuff.
By the way, I was aware of all those things due to having 2 children. It's amazing.
Were you aware of all that?
No,
Yeah.
I learned a lot with this story.
And honestly, everything she mentioned were all things to my wife and I were like, what? This we didn't know this existed in the
It's a
world
whole new
before
world.
this.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears here from baby Moses to baby Archie. It's been a little over 2 weeks since the newest royal baby was born. How are mom and dad doing so far? What does people know?
Yeah, a source tells people that they are so excited. They're settling into life as new parents, and their home at Frogmore Cottage is cute and warm, and it's just a totally different vibe from Kensington Palace.
So we've seen Harry out and about, but not much news from Meghan or Archie since that photo op. So yeah, what's next for them? What are they up to?
Yeah, we might have a chance to see him. He's actually scheduled to play a polo match May 24th in Rome. So if we're lucky, maybe the whole family will take a trip.
Let's talk about this from babies being born to moms-to-be. Christina Anstead starting this new chapter with her husband, Ant Anstead. We've tracked along with Christina through everything she's been through, from Flip or Flop, the co-star Tarek El Moussa. She has 2 kids from that relationship before that all dissolved, while Ant has 2 kids from his previous marriage. Now baby will make 5, so things are expanding. I love the story. Tell us about how she spilled the pregnancy news to Ant.
To Ant, yes. So she took the pregnancy test and, obviously saw it was positive, and she wanted to surprise him. So she knows that he always makes coffee in the morning. So before he went out to press the start button, she chucked the pregnancy test in the empty cup and hid around the corner. So he was pretty surprised and confused before he
Probably very confused,
Yes.
mainly. Like, what is exactly going on here? That's funny.
Well, and she's been through a lot. She was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, caused 2 failed IVF treatments, a miscarriage. Now she's pregnant, and she calls it her miracle baby, and she credits alternative medicine. So, yeah, talk us through a little bit of that.
Yeah, she definitely had struggles in the past, so she didn't think that she could get pregnant anymore. She just happened to be going to see an acupuncturist to deal with stress and just to help her relax. And while she was at her first appointment, she mentioned, hey, I have this. And the woman was like, I had that before too. I think I can help you.
Wow.
So Christina says she did some needlework, and lo and behold, a few days later, she conceived.
Sort of like this community of people that have been through that, sort of helping each other out with new methods and techniques and things. All right, also in this week's issue, Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe, will now be in my head all day just because I said the words. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot from her after that song went viral. Why did she decide to take a step back?
Yeah, her success was sort of fast and furious, and becoming an overnight celebrity was a bit overwhelming for her. So after we saw her have that big hit, she just wanted to take a step back and relax, and so that's what she did.
Yeah.
So her new album features her usual heart on her sleeve lyrics, which we love.
Yes.
She also opened up to us about finding love after heartbreak. So walk us through the inspiration for the new music.
Yes, of course, heartbreak is always great inspo for emotional songwriting, which is exactly what she did. You know, she has lyrics about, you know, going through a breakup with her ex, and then of course, you know, finding love with her new boyfriend.
Well, I'm glad that she's doing well. I can't wait to hear the new stuff. Is it going to be as catchy as
I don't
Culinary?
know.
I don't know.
It's a classic.
It's a tough one to beat.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
Good to hear
you.
from you. Guys, for these stories and more, pick up a copy of this week's issue of People. It is on newsstands Friday. And coming up, everybody, Olivia Wilde just directed her very first movie. She tells us about going behind the camera and the qualities that helped her get the job done. Plus, Jordin Sparks will be here live. We're talking to her about her adorable son, DJ, her new music collabs, and much more. Stick around for that.
Coda.
Get it, dude.
Look at the teeth.
All that work for that one little bit.
Get it, boy.
That one little bit of piece.
I'm not even gonna stop you because there's so much effort being put into this. You can do it, bud. Oh wait, no, you've got something else over there. Coda.
Get it, dude.
Look at the teeth.
All that work for that one little bit.
Get it, boy.
That one little bit of piece.
I'm not even gonna stop you because there's so much effort being put into this. You can do it, bud. Oh wait, no, you've got something else over there.
All right, guys, it is the most delicious summer soiree in the country, the Food and Wine Classic in Aspen, Colorado, and you can actually join the party June 14th through 16th.
So joining us live to tell us all about it is Top Chef, judge, and culinary writer and expert extraordinaire, Gail Simmons.
Hi, guys.
I hope one day I have
Hello.
extraordinaire in my
I know
title.
extraordinary is the official
Yeah.
title. Yes.
You're there, you made it.
Got it registered and
Okay,
everything.
First of all, anyone unfamiliar with this event, give us the rundown. If you're attending, what can you expect?
The Food and Wine Classic in Aspen is the most miraculous weekend of the summer. First of all, it takes place in Aspen, Colorado, one of the most beautiful backdrops to any culinary festival in the history of the world. I'm not exaggerating about any of this, by the way.
I actually believe
Really
you.
not.
Look at the, I mean, the
It is
visuals are
so
there, and the
beautiful.
idea of it is just dreamy.
It is dreamy, and not only that, but it is just a 3-day weekend packed with some of the greatest culinary talent across the country. You know, everyone from Martha Stewart to Marcus Samuelson, Andrew Zimmern, Food and Wine's executive wine editor, Ray Isle. And the weekend is just packed with cooking demonstrations, wine seminars, parties late into the night, all with Aspen Mountain behind you.
Behind you, I feel like the biggest challenge would be pacing yourself.
Actually,
Yeah.
you say that, but it's true. Remember, the other sort of key ingredient in Aspen is that you're at 8,000 feet the whole time.
Right, the elevation.
So the
a glass of wine
elevation-
goes a long way.
It does. So I'm a cheap date that weekend. It is very easy to drink a little too much, but you drink a lot of water. I actually like to start my weekend off with a 5K run that we do
Oh,
for
nice.
charity. This year, our charity partner is
That's
the Jacques Pepin Foundation.
That's amazing, because then you feel better about all
You
the
do.
wine that you drink.
Let's
That's
talk
right.
about, you mentioned some of the names, but some very familiar faces every year. I'm going to list them.
Yeah.
You, of course, Andrew Zimmern, Martha Stewart, Jeffrey Kazarian, Alex Guarnaschelli, Carla Hall, and the list goes on.
Yes.
Is it, for you, like a high school reunion?
It
Seeing
rea-
everyone again?
It is, actually. This will be, I think, my 14th year of 15 years working with Food and Wine magazine. I had to miss last year because I had a baby, but so now I feel like I missed the reunion, but it really is the one time of the year that the restaurant industry is together, just sharing insights, sharing innovation, eating, cooking, drinking, celebrating the best of food and wine.
And the seminars go all day, but what does after hours look like? I imagine,
there's a
do
lot.
people let loose?
Yeah, of course. We're there for the party. There's
the main
a lot of
reason
things.
you go.
This year, there's some really special events. We're doing a bunch of collaborative chef mentorship dinners on Saturday night that people can buy individual tickets to. So I'm hosting a dinner, for example, that will be cooked by Rick Bayless, you know, one of our best new chefs from the very first class of best new chefs, Chicago chef, and he's going to be cooking with Jason Vincent from Giant. Andrew Carmelini from La Conda Verde is doing a dinner with Kate Williams. There's like really extraordinary pairings going on. So there's that. Jeffrey Zagarian is hosting a last call late night bash on Friday night. There's a lot.
Who gets the
to do.
craziest at these things? Like, who is the party animal?
You know, there's a few. There's a lot. I'm excited to see if Martha Stewart's really going to get down with all of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Do you think you'll be, since you missed last year, are you going to like make up for lost time?
Yes, I'm there without my kids. I am ready for the classic and aspect.
You can always tell who has the kids back at home because they're most
They're
excited
in
to be
very
there.
good hands.
So the seminars all weekend.
Yes, there's cooking demonstrations and tons of wine tasting seminars.
Martha Stewart has a cooking
right.
thing, coffee pairings with wines and barbecue, all this kind of stuff. You're hosting it.
I'm doing a cooking demonstration about my favorite recipes inspired from my time spent in Spain. I lived in Spain for a year, and then I have gone back several times. It is really one of the best places to eat and drink
It's like
in
a
the world.
paella thing going? Or?
I'm not doing paella, although we have done it in the past.
Okay.
Maybe you're gonna have to come and see what I make.
Perhaps.
What is one seminar
Plus
that
one.
you would love to attend? It can exist or not, like something that you would really want to attend.
Well, this year, one of the things I'm really excited about is that Ruth Reichel is going to be there celebrating her new book, Save Me the Plums, the fourth in her sort of biographical series of books. And our editor-in-chief, Hunter Lewis, is going to be interviewing her about the book. And I just want to make sure I'm a fly on the wall.
Let's say this quickly. Top Chef, last month Padma teased that we might see what she called some oldies but goodies on season 17. Any updates you can share with us?
Nope. No, season 17 will be shooting soon. Can't disclose where, but we're really excited about it, and I think it's going to be a very special season. We're twisting and turning it as we always do.
Love it.
Oh, very excited. All right, so name of the event is Food and Wine Classic, which we love both of those things, but we especially love wine, so we have some rosé here.
Oh, right.
Are you excited?
Of course.
We're doing a little
Great
game
time for
with the
day
rosé.
drinking.
It's 5 o'clock
We're gonna play
somewhere.
a little drinking game. So it's Never Have I Ever, Food and Wine edition.
Great.
So we're
Thank
gonna
you
play
so
along
much.
too. I'll read a statement. You have a sip if you have done the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
So first one, never have I ever ordered a steak well done. You haven't.
No.
I haven't either.
So we're not drinking on that. All right.
Thank goodness,
Well,
guys. We can be friends.
Here we go. Never have I ever put ice cubes in wine.
Oh, I have.
Okay. Whee, cheers.
Never have I ever eaten sushi with silverware. I definitely
Even
have.
way back in the game. Oh, do we each get to do? Oh, I definitely have to.
Oh yeah, we're playing. Yeah, we're.
You've always been a pro. I didn't know that we get to choose.
No,
I
yeah.
thought it was all dependent on yours. Never have I ever pretended takeout was actually homemade.
Do like pies and cakes count?
Everything
Yeah.
counts. Never in your whole life.
You may
If
have.
you have to think about it, drink. All right.
Fine, I'll drink anyway.
Never have I ever double dipped without anyone noticing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point they put them in here just so we can have a drink. Never have I ever taste tested food meant for a pet. Because pet food's getting more and more gourmet, let's be real.
I mean, I will say, I have a friend of mine who lives in Los Angeles makes this very special pet food for his pet that is, you know, basically a stew of beef with vegetables that just doesn't have salt.
That sounds like
in
a
it.
yes to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna drink. Yeah, okay, I've tasted it.
Next up, these are not never have I ever's. We also need you to settle these debates. Drink if you think burgers and hot dogs are sandwiches. This is actually a thing. Some people say it and categorize
It's
it.
between two pieces of bread.
Okay.
Don't think more about it.
All right, well.
Okay. Drink if you think pineapple belongs on pizza.
No.
Really?
I'm not gonna do that.
Guys, have you just not had a good one, maybe?
Maybe.
That might be it.
I'm happy for you to prove me wrong, but I'm
All
not
right,
drinking.
finally, the most important debate here at People Now that we talk about a lot. Drink if you prefer creamy peanut butter over crunchy peanut
Oh yeah,
butter.
creamy.
No!
Cheers. Here's to the
Cheers. Is it weird that I'm maybe buzzed?
No,
Feels
it's
good.
a lot of high elevation
Never
here in the
sure.
studio. Thank you so much for
Yes,
stopping by.
thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I hope you can make it to the Food One
Yes,
Me
Classic.
too.
you guys
Talk
go
to
to
someone.
foodandwine.com/classic for all the details on this year's event.
All right, and this week's People, we're taking an inside look at a new book, The Kennedy Heirs, which examines the complexities of John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette's marriage.
While many believe that the duo had a romance straight out of a fairy tale, the true story of Bessette and Kennedy's relationship is also one of conflict. Author J. Randy Taraborelli telling People John and Carolyn loved each other, but their struggles were much more real than people realized.
The author characterizes the couple's relationship as complex from the beginning, saying JFK Jr. fell in love with the Calvin Klein publicist the moment he met her. However, saying he wanted Carolyn to know him as more than just the son of the president.
Over the years, Carolyn struggled to fit in with his powerful family. The Kennedy Heirs author writing that Ethel Kennedy would even quiz Carolyn about current events at the family's Hyannisport compound, leaving her feeling uncomfortable and attacked.
John didn't fully realize how difficult it was for his wife to adjust to the spotlight, often feeling hunted by paparazzi. That is something, of course, John was used to.
In the book, while quoting an anonymous friend of John's, Taraborelli describes a scene in the couple's apartment after a stressful week dealing with the press, in which the friend entered to see Carolyn doing cocaine at the coffee table, John telling his friend it's been a bad week as he sat down and used the drug himself.
Taraborelli also details JFK Jr.'s relationship with Grateful Dead lyricist John Perry Barlow, who said Jr. was a recreational drug user, that they'd, quote, been doing acid and ecstasy together for years. Now, Barlow said that Jr. thought of it as a way to experience life differently. The author later adding that he found no evidence of addiction problems for either of them, more so associating it with partying in the 90s.
The stress grew between the couple as John's cousin, Anthony Radziwill, fell ill to cancer and approached death. The author saying, you can't underestimate the impact Anthony's illness had on John and their marriage and his feelings of despair about what was happening to his cousin. John and Anthony had a relationship no one could get in the middle of, and Carolyn was having a hard time accessing him.
In 1998, Carolyn reconnected with an old confidant and, according to Taraborelli, ended up kissing him at his apartment before leaving in a panic. Now, according to the author, John punched the man at his apartment 2 days later, saying, stay away from my wife. By April of that year, the two were in counseling and trying to improve their marriage.
In July of 1999, John, Carolyn, and her sister Lauren all died in a plane crash near Martha's Vineyard on their way to Rory Kennedy's wedding. That flight was piloted by John. Taraborelli says the duo had the highest of highs and the most crushing lows, saying they really did love each other, but the question I asked in the book and the question they asked themselves was, is that enough? Their love was undeniable, but was it enough considering everything that was working against them?
Being overweight really affected me playing with my daughter by me just not being very active with her. I would just lay on the couch and direct her to do things, play games that I could do sitting there, just with my legs kicked up in the recliner. And so many photos when she's young is her playing and my legs kicked up on the recliner, because that's what I did.
My oldest just started walking, so trying to chase behind him and make sure he don't get into anything and get hurt, it was just very difficult on me. I was just out of breath. I was struggling to keep up. I had to ultimately rely on my husband a lot to do more of the active stuff with them.
Wow, their stories are truly remarkable. We are so happy to have them with us today to continue to share their journey. Please welcome Laura Rosenthal and Victoria Brady. Thank you, ladies.
Good to see you, ladies.
Yeah, and you look great. You're also coordinating. And how are you guys doing?
Good. I feel awesome.
Yeah, you look great. Those videos are really powerful. Let's start at the beginning. When was the moment that you realized you needed to make a change? Laura, let's start with you.
Sure. So really when I turned 40 years old, I kind of looked in the mirror and thought I was really not happy with where I was at. I was really disappointed in myself for letting myself go so long, and I decided to make a commitment to change my life.
What about for you?
My boys, specifically when we went to a wellness checkup for my oldest, and just seeing that his weight was becoming a concern for the pediatrician, I saw myself all over again. And I knew that if I wanted him to have a different outcome in life than I had growing up, I had to first be that example.
That makes a lot of sense. It's one thing to be inspired, but then you start implementing changes.
Yes.
So what were the workout routines and some of the maybe dieting changes that you guys did immediately?
Well, some of the things that I did, you know, I started just walking 5 days a week. I would just walk at work on the treadmill. And then as I've gotten closer to my goal, I started doing some circuit training a couple days a week, just 30-minute classes that I really have enjoyed and have helped me get my metabolism going.
Yeah.
How about for you?
Starting gradually. I didn't want it to be overwhelming, so I started cutting things out slowly one by one. So like fried foods, breaded foods, juices, breads, started replacing it with healthier things, more veggies, and just gradually walking a mile a day. And eventually, over time, I started to pick up the intensity and started strength training.
Yeah, so you start with walking, start basic, but then what's a favorite workout that you do that you never thought you would be doing?
You know, I really, the sort of circuit training classes that I do, we're doing burpees and doing, you know, push-ups and sit-ups and all these things that really seemed impossible to me. You know, when I was young, I was very athletic, and so I did those things, but it had been 20 years, so.
It's kind of like revisiting
Yes.
a younger version of yourself.
And it's great to know it's still in me.
Yeah. Anything that you did that you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and you felt really proud about yourself?
Yes. It started with step aerobics, doing that group fitness class and just even being able to try to keep up with the class and seeing, you know, what was required and the level of energy. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised that I'm even able to do this. Before I couldn't even run around after my child.
Right.
It must be a cool moment then to kind of look back and be like, I've come so far. The hardest part though is always sticking with routine for the long haul. So what is your #1 tip for kind of sticking with it for both of you?
Find things that work for your schedule, for your lifestyle, for your likes and desires. I found doing the things that I enjoyed made exercise less of a chore for me. Finding things that I love to eat that were still healthy, such as chocolate-covered fruit, dark chocolate-covered fruit, really kept me on track instead of picking up a Snickers or a Reese's.
What about you?
You know, I think keeping in mind that it's a marathon and not a race, and keeping in mind that this is a lifestyle change and truly embracing that, knowing it's not just a temporary thing. And, you know, of course, the compliments and how good you feel really helps you stay motivated. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to look in the mirror and know that you made this commitment and that no matter how hard it is, you're going to stick to it.
When we were looking at some of those side-by-side photos, it's just incredible to see the difference from our perspective. But from your perspective, when you look at that and you see yourself then and now, what were some of maybe the biggest hurdle that you had to overcome to get to where you are today?
I think for me, it was just, it felt so insurmountable to lose 100+ pounds. I just thought, how do I even start to do this? How do I stick with it for a year? And little did I realize at the time, you know, it wasn't about sticking to it for a year. It's really about sticking to it for life. And so sort of changing my mind along the way, it's been an evolution mentally, that's for sure. Getting to a place where I feel very confident that I am going to keep succeeding at this.
Yeah. What advice do you have for people who are trying to maybe start with that first step?
Start with looking at your lifestyle and working with that. Don't focus on what other people are doing. It's so easy to get caught up in other people's journeys, but your journey is personal. It's yours for a reason. And the only person standing in your way is you.
That is so important. And like, not to go down the social media rabbit hole of comparing yourself. So that's great advice. Before we let you go, we're celebrating your incredible transformations. With our question of the day, we asked our viewers their favorite way to stay healthy. So let's take a look at what people are saying online.
So favorite way, 36%, a healthy diet.
It's all about the diet, right? I mean, exercise helps, but I mean, I'm sure you two know it's all in the diet.
I also love that drinking plenty of water. A lot of people doing that as well, which has played in. Did you guys, have you noticed a change when you maybe switched to more water throughout the day? Which sounds kind of simple, but that's a distinct change.
Yeah. So it actually kept me fuller longer. As far as when I ate, I would drink a glass of water before I ate the meal. And so I didn't feel the need to eat more than necessary.
Interesting, so help suppress the appetite in that way.
And also sleep's very important. There's a lot of other factors as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you
guys,
for having us.
Keep voting. You can change the results of that poll. There's still time. Thanks for being here. And guys, you have done incredible work. You're very impressive and you're inspiring so many people. And you guys can be sure to check out PeopleTV for the full How We Lost 100 Pounds episode. Check that out.
We have to go to a party tonight.
What?
Nobody knows that we are fun. We didn't party because we wanted to focus on school and get into good colleges.
And it worked.
But the irresponsible people who partied also got into those colleges.
I'm incredible at but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
Wow, that's hilarious. Olivia Wilde made a lifelong dream come true when she directed a movie for the very first time. That movie is Booksmart. It's in theaters Friday.
So Olivia has been in the biz for 17 years, so she's learned a thing or two, and she shared with us the qualities she has that make directing a good fit for her.
I've always felt like a leader in the best sense in that I'm a mother and I'm a multitasker and I love to listen and I like to nurture people, particularly actors. But I think I was reminded that I'm very comfortable leading a group of people and creating an environment for them to do their best work. And I feel that part of my evolution in this business has been learning to understand each and every person's role and their significance and their value. And I learned during this movie, every experience I've ever had has been for this, so that I can look around the room and say, I understand you, I respect you, and we're gonna do something special together.
And her children have such a great role model to look up to. So she told us that when she would do late night shoots for Booksmart, she would get home at 7 a.m., make breakfast for her kids, play with them, take them to school, and go on about her day.
Wow.
She tells people that moms are the real heroes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine just not sleeping those days.
Superwoman. Hearing how passionate Olivia is about her kids and career must have made this experience extra special for her and everyone around her. And since this was her directorial debut, we had to know what was her favorite thing about it.
I mean, I loved every element of it, but honestly, speaking to the cast, directing the cast, kind of guiding them in whatever way I could, I was so proud of them. I knew while we were shooting that they were making something really special. I think more than they did, because I had the outside perspective and I was like, wow, they are pulling this off in a way that is really exciting because of how devoted they were. And I'm really proud of what we created and that we had to stick to our guns about. There's a lot of outside the box thinking that went into this movie that was a collective effort that we all had to really, really dedicate ourselves to, like a stop motion Barbie trip or a fantasy dance number or an extended underwater sequence. Like that took everybody hearing these weird ideas I had and saying like, yes, we are committed to that. So the predominant feeling when I reflect on the experience is one of gratitude, because you look around a room and there's 150 people who are gathered to make your vision become a reality. And that's kind of overwhelming. And it's like, thanks for showing up to work today and making this your priority so that I can tell my story.
You can definitely feel the love for everyone throughout the film. Also seems like a blast to shoot.
Yeah.
The two stars of the film, Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever, loved working with Olivia and also each other.
When Beanie and Caitlin met, the connection was instant. Take a look at this.
We agreed to living with each other after knowing each other for 20 minutes.
It was like we first met, it was like a koala bear hug.
It was also great because we both knew we had already gotten the part and we were both attached to it before we had met. So like, it was just like, oh my God, it's my
like
Molly.
meeting your destiny.
I know. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was great.
So we wanted to have some fun with them. Since this is a high school film, what better than a round of superlatives?
The class clown. I think it might be Billy Lord.
I think Billy is the life of every party. She is free and honest.
Oh, Olivia and Katie.
Oh,
Cutest couple. Olivia Wilde and Katie Silverman.
Yep.
Hands down.
hands down.
I mean, Caitlin and Beanie. They were just so connected from the beginning, and they were living together in pre-production, production. They drove to work every day together. We were inspired by their real friendship. The dancing at the beginning is just them. That's what they would do every time they saw each other. And so Katie Silverman and I were like, wait a minute, look at them. We have to put that in the movie.
Well, they said you and Katie.
Oh.
Guys, very excited to be joined today by singer-songwriter Jordin Sparks. Thank you for being here. Great to see you.
Last time you were here, I wasn't here, so I'm so happy to finally meet you.
Yes. It's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for your strength and taking time. You've been through a lot, the passing of your stepfather. Thank you for making time for us in the midst of that. How's everyone doing?
Everyone, I think everybody's doing the best that they can. Everybody has their different level of grief and how they grieve. But everybody is okay. The sun still rises the next day, and it's strange to have the feeling of like I was just weeping a week ago, but now it feels strange to laugh because of where I just was. But he was an amazing, amazing man, and if anything, he was such a giver and such for people that even in his passing, he was like that. He donated his organs, and for people are going to receive something, so they'll get life. Even in that, he's still giving,
making an impact.
Yeah.
Well, our condolences to you. And
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I really admire you for being able to talk about things, being so open. Last time when you were here at People Now, it was right after your stepsister passed away from sickle cell anemia.
Yep.
So now you've joined hands with Generation S to release a PSA about the disease. So let's take a look at this.
In September 2018, we invited people touched by sickle cell disease to share their stories through the Generation S Storytelling Project to help raise awareness, help educate, and ultimately rewrite the story about sickle cell disease.
So yeah, take us back. How did you become a part of this movement to begin with?
Well, with my sister, my stepsister, she passed from sickle cell, and I remember as she was going through that and me having a sister that had sickle cell, I had never been close to somebody who had that disease and could count on one hand the number of times I'd ever had a conversation about it or even heard it. So when I watched her and what she dealt with and the pain crises and how she sometimes would be in the hospital for 3 weeks out of a month, you know, and watching her and how strong she was, I knew that after she passed that it was something that I really wanted to be a part of. And also knowing that people don't really have the conversations, it's time. It's time to have these conversations. It's time to talk about it. It affects, I think, 100,000 Americans, and we're not talking about this.
It's a lot of people.
It just seems, yeah.
And then through the process, you got to interact with people and to meet some people affected by sickle cell.
Yeah.
What was the most touching story that you encountered?
Well, okay, so the crazy thing is, I think it's showing it right here. We got to Skype with them, but I get to meet them today, actually.
Oh, today?
Yes.
For the first time in person?
Today. I'm beyond myself. I'm so excited to meet them.
What do you anticipate for those meetings?
Big hugs.
Okay, yeah, right.
Because we've spoken before, but I don't, I was so inspired by them all via Skype. Like, to be able to feel that energy through the computer screen is really amazing. So I know that it's just going to be the biggest burst of energy when we all get together, because I think they're all meeting for the first time too. So I think there's 5 of them, and it's just amazing because it takes a lot of courage to share your pain or to share your vulnerability or things that you've been through, just kind of like what you just mentioned. And what we do, or what we're doing with Join Gen S and Generation S, is to encourage people to change the narrative of what sickle cell looks like. You can't tell that somebody has it just by looking at them, but also to encourage them to share their stories so that they don't feel alone, so that they know there are other people out there that, 1, care, 2, can talk about it with you, and 3, understand. I can't imagine having sickle cell when you can't give an actual, like, look, I'm hurting. If you have a bruise, you're like, look, I have a bruise, but it's a blood disease, so it affects all the organs in your body. And all of a sudden, one of the women that I spoke to said it was like having shattered glass in her veins.
Man.
Like, can you even imagine?
No, it's hard. It's impossible to imagine.
Especially when nobody else seems to understand unless you have it. So I think it's so beautiful that now there's this community and people can be there to support each other. So I love that you're doing that.
Yeah,
I'm happy
thank
to be
you
a part of it.
And using your platform even at this moment to shed light on that. Let's
JoinGenS.com.
JoinGenS.com. Let's switch gears to this. Made a long-awaited return to music
Oh,
earlier this year, collaborating with Elijah Blake.
Yes.
Talk to us about how that all came about and how excited you seem to be. And we were talking even right before. You're excited for this new stuff.
Honestly, it happened because Elijah called me and asked me if I wanted to do a joint project in January, and I looked at DJ and I said, okay. I was like, as long as you know that he's gonna be at the studio with us.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a family affair going into the studio. It was Dana and DJ and myself and Elijah, and it was great. We finished it in, I think, a week and a half, and then put it out, and I'm really excited about it because not only did I get to release new music for my fans, but it also showed me, with all the access and technology we have, how quickly you can really put stuff together. I'm of an old school mindset. I'm like, I take a couple of years, and then I whatever life I've lived, I put that in my next project.
Really cultivated over time.
I like to take my time, but it's incredible. It's amazing to see how everybody can just put out song after song after song all the time. I don't work like that. No, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just am like, it's incredible to see. But I did get to do it once with this project. So.
Yeah, well, good for you. I really wondered how life in the studio is with the whole family there, right?
Yeah.
Like the kid and everything.
It was fun, actually. Elijah had a little booth in his up in his loft, and we would just go over to his house. We'd order lunch, and then DJ would just crawl around on the carpet, and then I would go in the studio. There was a door on the studio, or a window on the studio door, and so I'd just look, and he could check to see that I was still in the room, and then Dana would be sitting there, and him and Elijah would talk.
Adorable.
And, it was great. And the amazing thing is, too, now, months after the fact of recording it, now when the song comes on, DJ recognizes it instantly. And
really?
He asks for it, like, to be played. He goes like this. And that's when I know that he wants to hear, like, 90s R&B or something.
It's a little dance move.
Yes, it's so cute.
Like a little fist bump.
Yes.
You have all these powerhouse hits that people know you for, Tattoo, Battlefield. This is a different sound, though, right? More vintage R&B. So tell me about taking that route.
So for me, I've always been inspired by the 90s artists that I grew up with. You know, Mariah Carey and I mean 90s to me because that's when I grew up, because I know some of them are a little bit earlier, but you know, Whitney and Brandy and Boyz II Men and all of these amazing singers and vocalists and groups, and Elijah as well, Toni Braxton, oh my gosh. So for us, we kind of got together and we're like, okay, so what are we gonna make this about? And so we talked about it and realized that we had a love of the 90s. Even though we were pretty young, there's a lot of memories that we have, and the music was so great. You know, you hear those throwback songs, you're like, take me back, you know? So we wanted to do something that, you know, I guess millennials, I don't wanna say millennials, but
appealing to the millennials, right?
yeah, the one like, that grew up like us and that loved the 90s, you know, a little throwback just to pay homage to them and the people that came before us.
You know what makes me do this?
What?
Just make me feel it. No air.
Yes! You know what's crazy?
I didn't know what a so deep.
Yes. The crazy thing is now is I listen to that song and I'm like, okay, Idol was 12 years ago. Like this is like a throwback song for sure.
I listened to it earlier and I was
it's
just
a
like, it took me
throwback
away.
now.
So good. Also working on a solo album these days. How's that going to be different from previous work? I mean, you just mentioned a lot of how you're changing stuff up. Will it be reflected there too?
With this album, speaking of Idol and music and everything kind of coming together, I loved American Idol because I loved seeing everybody do different genres every week. Some people it was harder for me, I was like, this is my type of game. I love everything. I grew up listening to country music, R&B, rap, 80s hair bands, Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole, like you name it, bubblegum pop.
Full spectrum.
Everything. And so for me, they'd be like, okay, we're doing this week. And I'd be like, I can do that. I love Bon Jovi. Let me sing Living on a Prayer, please, you know? So for me, I've always been that way. I'm a melting pot of different genres of music. And so this new album is kind of like that. It's got a little bit of everything. Whereas my previous albums, I kind of said that. I said that as well, but this you'll really actually hear it. There's gonna be the power ballads, there's gonna be the sad breakup songs, there's the sassy, more attitude songs, there's happy songs, kind of reminiscent of how One Step at a Time, just you hear it and you're just happier. So it's got a little bit of everything that I'm really excited. I'm still working on it. I've got a couple more that I want to go in and some songs that I want to write.
I imagine it's different too, like now you're a mother, so life's different. Yeah, tell us a little bit about raising your son. He's a little over a year old. He's here today. Ooh, yes, traveling with him.
Screaming in the green room.
Yeah. Right.
No, he's amazing.
So adorable, oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't deal. This is how I am with him all the time. Like, you're so cute. But he's incredible, and it's been really amazing to see him emerge now, because it was almost like he turned one and then boom, he was like his own person. Like I saw little pieces of it, but now he knows exactly what he wants, what he's looking at, what he wants to do, where he wants to go. If he wants to eat, like he goes into the cooler himself and grabs his food. I'm just like, okay,
What's been the most surprising thing that you did not anticipate with motherhood?
Well, to be honest, I didn't anticipate how much. I knew I would love it, but I did not anticipate like the depth of how much I really love being his mom, and like knowing that he chose us, you know, it kind of makes me weepy. It's just like, it's the most amazing thing. And when I see other women say like it's the greatest role in my life, like I get it now. Like I understood it logically, seeing somebody say that, but I understand it on a deeper level now, to just, it really is the greatest thing. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah, wow, now I have baby fever.
Snaps into
It's crazy. Everything changed. Everything shifted, but for the better. It's been great. Dana and I are stronger than ever. DJ is just amazing, and he shows us. It's almost like, just like how your relationship can be a mirror to who you are, it's also another mirror. Smaller mirror, but it's another mirror. Like, oh, my patience isn't where I thought it was. Ooh, let me work on that. Or, you know, if there's an argument or something, instead of just going into it or going into a disagreement, you have to think like, wait, okay, he knows, he'll be able to feel the tension. We gotta wait, we'll talk about it later.
It was one of the most interesting things for my wife and I was to figure out how to seclude our arguments and things to some degree. Like, I kind of want the girls to know, like, hey, we can have disagreements and that's fine. But for your relationship with Dana, how has it changed the most as parents?
Well, I mean, obviously we don't get to go out all the time like we used to.
Do you try to do that? Is that something you have to carve out?
Yeah, we try and do date nights. It's been difficult because I'm still breastfeeding, so we're still kind of tethered in that way. We can't go too far, but at the same time, Dana's been I'm such a homebody. I literally could stay home for 2 weeks and not have any issues. I'd be like, I'm good. Like,
Doing your thing.
I'm great.
Yeah.
But he's really been encouraging me, like, hey, we got to be more social. And I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. You're right, babe. But we do try and have our date nights here and there. It's been hard to find somebody that we trust to watch him, and also all of our family lives out of town. So
it's a big decision.
Yeah, so it's difficult to like go, okay, yeah, we want to go and do all these things, and yes, it would be so perfect if we just had somebody we could either take with us, or it's just been, that's been the hardest thing, I think, is finding somebody like that.
All right.
All right, well, time for a little game.
Okay, I'm
ready?
ready.
It's called When Do Sparks Fly? I came up with this. Do you like it?
I can't believe nobody has thought about this. It's been 12 years and this has never been a thing.
Well, here it is.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I feel really good because this is my idea.
Well, I mean, it was a group effort. You did come up with a title.
Yes. I mean, that I can
Okay,
we
I
may
came
have
up
all
with the title.
contributed.
I came up with the title.
People have done the Sparks Fly thing, but not like
So you get two situations.
Okay.
You have to tell us which of those are more likely to have sparks flying. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
So first one, Dana shows up with flowers or he shows up with chocolates. When do sparks fly?
I would have to choose A, when he shows up with flowers, because he does that and it's so sweet.
Does he?
It'll be the most random day, random morning. I don't even know. I'll wake up sometimes and my favorite flowers are lilies, and he'll be home with lilies and just a card telling me he loves me. It's the sweetest thing.
Dana killing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He really is.
All right, here we go.
He's so thoughtful.
Next one, a date
Okay.
night with Dana at a fancy restaurant, or movie night at Dana with Dana at home.
Oh no. See, we do movie night with each other at home like almost
All the time.
every single night. Once DJ goes to sleep, we have our dinner, we watch our show, and like we have our thing that we do. So it's both, actually.
Yeah. And at least that one is happening all the time. So
Yeah.
All right, when do sparks fly? Dana buys you jewelry or Dana buys you a sexy dress?
Ooh. You know what's funny? It's not when he doesn't have to buy it for me, but when I put on a sexy dress and he looks at me, that's the
We
difference.
should bring him in here for some of these, I think.
Is he good at telling you when you look good?
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yes, I mean, it's not like, wow, you look like the sexiest thing on the planet. He has his own way of saying it, but I know when he's saying it. So when he does, I'm like,
Yeah, I think you know.
yep.
Yep. Here we go. Having a few cans of beer or having a few glasses of wine?
Oh, a few glasses of wine.
Your wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the same way?
I'm not a wino, he is.
Oh, he's the wino.
He likes it, but we have discovered there's this like sparkling red wine called Roscato.
Ooh.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's pretty sweet though, so if you like more of the
All
dry
right.
stuff.
We'll put it on the list. Roscato.
All right, last one. When do sparks fly? When he does the dishes or when he does the laundry?
He hates doing the dishes. He hates it so much, and he did them the other day.
Oh, so that's really sparkling.
It was really
Yeah.
sweet. He hates doing it, but he did it, and it was really sweet.
All right.
Good job, Dana.
Yeah, I love you.
Jordin, thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course,
Good to talk
thank you
to
for
you.
having me.
Remember, you can go to joingens.com to learn more about sickle cell disease and join the movement.
Please.
Obviously, check out our music as well.
Yeah. Am I gonna breathe with no air? Can't help it. Coming up tomorrow, it's the royal role of a lifetime. Tiffany Smith and Charlie Field play Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And Lifetime's new movie, Harry and Meghan, becoming royal. They're going to join us live. We can't wait.
We are recapping this week in Bravo drama in our Housewives recap. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Corinne Fox.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Corinne Fox, and this is one last thing. Okay, the last time I busted a move was at a hip-hop dance class, and I always think I'm like Beyonce, but I'm not. The last time I hit the red carpet was actually last night for our upfronts. And the last time I felt fierce was in this cheetah dress. Who wouldn't feel fierce in this?